Thank you for joining us in this IT Live session. My name is Ruben Melendez. I am here to present to you the presentation on the topic of the IT talent gap. And I'm going to present to you the case for an IT workforce pipeline and ecosystem based on the shortage of IT talent and the need for developing people which are unemployed and underemployed, and also people new to the workforce to prepare them to enter the IT workforce to help reduce the talent gap that we have in the United States. So the session that we're going to discuss today includes the following topics. First, I'm going to talk about what's driving the IT talent gap and what's causing it, what are the driving forces behind it. I'm also going to talk about why automation, such as the case of robotic process automation, artificial intelligence, and other technologies, why are those part of the cause of the talent gap, but also they're part of the solution as well. And I will also cover which are the IT skills that are with that have the highest shortage for IT occupations these days. And also I'm going to talk about why and how IT workforce ecosystems are the solution. There is in the United States about 9 million people unemployed, but there's also about 9 million people, about 9 million jobs open. And the problem is that there is no match between the available jobs and the skills that the people that are looking for jobs. So there's a need to train these individuals and help them prepare so that they can join the workforce. So the next thing I'm going to discuss is this case for the building a IT workforce ecosystem with a pipeline of individuals for enterprises and for employers. And I'm going to have a few minutes at the end to answer any question and answers. So thank you for joining us again. And I'm going to get started with the first bullet here. So what's driving and causing this talent gap in IT? So and why is the gap occurring? Okay, so as we all know, the digitization of businesses is changing the business world. And the number of emerging technologies, the number of solutions that are available and coming are causing businesses to change, okay, and reinventing the business strategies and the business operating models. So that those changes in technology and business strategies are changing the way work is done in companies. And at the point that is this faster, the changes in companies in terms of how work must be done with technologies, with advanced technologies, that change in the business is faster than the speed of which the workforce and the talent in companies have been developed and is adapting to the change, okay? So the executives in companies, the IT decision makers, such as the CIOs, the CTOs, vice presidents of infrastructure and development and so forth, they indicate that the skills gap is because these changes, again, are exceeding the skills and the development programs that they have or that organizations have. So that's part of the problem. So according to this organization, or this firm called Korn Ferry, it's a company out of California, they said that by 2030, there will be a very large shortage of more than 85 million IT workers, which will represent a problem for revenue for companies of about $8.5 trillion of actually lost revenue, according to this organization, Korn Ferry. So companies are, interestingly, paying more for these IT jobs, increasing the salaries. They're hiring more, but still there's a shortage of IT talent and IT employers. Okay, IT workers. So the other problem is that the new technologies, in the case, for example, of automation, artificial intelligence and technologies like that, they are replacing the work that some humans have done, like repetitive tasks. So there is this thing going on in the business world, which is called the human plus machine, which is the need for people and machines to work together. So in the past, the intelligence and the work was basically done by humans, but as we all know, with the coming of computers and robots and all that, that started changing in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and then by the time we got into the 80s and 90s with the internet, and then there was more, automation in processes and in office functions. And now with the arrival of artificial intelligence, more repetitive tasks and jobs which are done on that have functions that are done on a rule basis, on a repetitive basis per se, having more eliminated or replaced with let's call it software agents of machines per se, software machines per se, software elements. Okay, so the question, what's happening here is the way work is done and the way decisions are done in companies. And work is, the movement of parts, inventory, taking care of clients. What's called the work is the effort that is done in processes, in workflows. Okay, and the decisions that management do. Okay, that is changing because we had only before just the humans and the machines, again, like robotics or equipment. But with the outcome of the artificial intelligence, so things starting to change. And then there was a change that started, which is going on right now, where humans are using these machines, intelligent machines, to make better decisions or faster decisions. And the other way around, machines are replacing humans, and these machines, like software agents, are supervised or trained by humans. So this collaboration of the human plus machine is changing the way work is done and the way decisions are done. For example, in the case of work, some of the repetitive tasks are becoming automated, and they are putting, again, intelligence, artificial intelligence, to make this automation more intelligent. And in the future, there will be high level of orchestration among processes for all of these automations, which is called hyper-automation. In terms of decisions, as you know, there's been for many years since, for example, the outcome of Excel and tools like that, organizations start doing more analysis using digital tools, again, like the simple case of Excel. And then this software advanced, where analytics took place, and using statistical analysis, and then to predict, prevent, and prescribe problems or situations to improve decision making. And then with the outcome of artificial intelligence, these analytics are becoming more advanced. And these advanced analytics are basically not only helping humans make decisions, but in some cases, the machine itself, the software itself, is making the decision and controlling the process or controlling the function. That's what's called, for example, the Internet of Things. So this is not a technical session, but this just is to point out that these changes in the way work is done with automation and the way that decisions are done with these intelligent machines is creating changes on the IT skills, creating a need for other type of skills that we didn't have before. At the same time, automation is displacing or eliminating certain jobs. So those two things are part of the problem with the talent gap. Okay, so the automation is part of the situation, but at the same time, as we can see, is as less people are available to do work, machines and intelligent machines can do some of those tasks and some of those functions as well, or decisions. So the automation is part of the problem, but also part of the solution. So it is a complex thing, but it's something that is happening whether we like it or not. I personally believe this is very good for companies because it's allowing companies to be more efficient, more effective, and produce more work output and value creation for their enterprises. Okay, so all of this is creating certain a shortage in certain areas, and there are many areas that there's a shortage of skills and people. One of them, obviously, the most obvious is software development. And they're in all levels of software development, from basic, front end or Java skills, all the way to advanced software development skills. The whole spectrum of different levels of coding and software coding and functions around that are in high demand. Obviously, cybersecurity, that's another field that there's a shortage. From ethical hackers to cybersecurity management and so forth. Then we have the areas of collaboration between development and operations, called DevOps, between IT development and IT operations, or more of the advanced technology things related to artificial intelligence, such as machine learning ops or ML ops or AI ops, or data ops, which is what the data scientists are involved. So these are some acronyms, obviously, that only IT people know what they mean. But the point is, these new approaches like DevOps and data ops and so forth are creating practices and the need for functions for jobs that they did not exist before. And people need to be trained, like data scientists or data engineers, for example, that where there's a shortage. Also, because these technologies in the use of data is allowing companies to make better use of the data, because data is growing so fast that in the systems that they need to find a better way to use that data. So the data, science per se, one of the things that is the way that business leaders use it is for analytics, for analyzing trends, forecasting, making decisions, and so forth. So the whole thing about business analysis and business analytics, there's a shortage of people as well. And there are other ones. So, but these are some of the areas based on surveys that I've seen that have been done by universities or some of the enterprises that we have seen doing workforce development analysis have found that there is a shortage. So what can enterprises do? Well, in order to achieve, and sustain the business outcomes and the business goals for enterprises, they need to come up with a strategy for workforce development, and to ensure that the organizational readiness the organization is ready to succeed with the talent because of the digital changes in the digital world. So enterprises need to periodically, obviously, reskill, assess, and upskill their IT workforce. That's something that's happening in every enterprise, obviously. But also they need to have a model so they can anticipate those changes and speed up the skills changes to create the competence and the capabilities before they need the talent. In other words, try to be more proactive in strategic planning, so where the gaps and the needs of the people that need to be trained and hired are done from a strategic perspective ahead of the need, like a year or two in terms of the planning. Obviously, continuously assessing the IT skills in the workforce in every enterprise, and the assets that they have for operational assets and strategic assets, like people, systems, processes, and so forth, is part of what they need to do to be sure that they can, match the skills of the people to the changes in processes and systems. So the solution for the IT workforce development ecosystem basically is what's happening is there are a number of ecosystems going on, actually many of them. I'm going to speak about one in particular, the Global Lynx IT workforce development ecosystem, in just a minute. But there are in every state, in many parts of the country, in the US, and I'm sure in other countries around the world, there are organizations that are creating their own resources with other resources to help put together a group of partners that cross boundaries and capabilities between each organization so that they can help produce a pipeline to manage this workforce with an ecosystem approach. So the idea is that these ecosystems, which is a group of organizations, either private, government, and non-for-profit as well, working together to create a pipeline that finds individuals and then use their internal as well as the external resources from the partners in a way that they can align their enterprises strategies to help them, find these critical skills that they need. So, in the case particular of Global Lynx, which is the organization, the company that is sponsoring this session, there is a ecosystem that Global Lynx has been involved with for the last, I would say, year and a half. And basically, the Global Lynx ecosystem consists of Global Lynx resources and other resources from partners that create this development ecosystem to one is help some local or regional communities, such as in the state of Ohio, the state of Florida, and Global Lynx is now expanded that to other states as well, like the state of Michigan, the state of California, and so forth. So the idea is collaborating with partners such as the National Guard, the Salvation Army, different other organizations that train developers and provide certain training on, for example, cloud skills from partners that Global Lynx has, such as, for example, with Cisco and Intel, that they have programs, which many of those are free, by the way. Those programs are part of the Global Lynx IT workforce development ecosystem. So the idea is to offer enterprises and institutions, this pipeline so that they, as they go into their digital journey, to improve their business strategy and their operational models with the digital changes, that they can prepare the talent and hire the people that they need, but also help the people which are unemployed or underemployed or new to the workforce to get ready to be trained and get help from the different partners or members of the ecosystem so that they can join this pipeline of talent to become part of the solution for the employers. So this Global Lynx IT workforce ecosystem provides those resources, and the idea is to develop provide to the individuals that are looking for jobs the knowledge, the skills, the capabilities, and so forth, and help the employers develop the assets that they need to prepare their workforces to face, the challenges of the future, of the digital future. So the Global Lynx IT workforce pipeline and ecosystem has a combination of internal and external resources that any enterprise, your enterprise or you as an individual can use to deal with this challenge of the pipeline and the ecosystem. So the idea is provide with this pipeline and these resources to meet the objectives of IT workforces in the different employers. And the Global Lynx IT workforce pipeline also includes free and different training programs. Some of them are offered or covered or sponsored by the government, like the state of Ohio, for example, or offer for free, like for Global Lynx or partners, again, like Cisco, Intel, and other organizations that do that, so that individuals can get new skills, or organizations can upskill or reskill their teams to minimize the talent gap. So the idea is to maximize the enterprise's organizational readiness so they can succeed. Okay. So, and they can build a roadmap for the capabilities that they need for the digital changes in their enterprises. So the Global Lynx IT workforce development pipeline basically you can see it here in this chart, and you can see from the left the individuals join this pipeline. The Global Lynx ecosystem has a collaboration with the partners to make them aware that the program exists. And then there are a number of organizations that send the candidates to the training providers, such as Global Lynx and other organizations. So, for example, in Ohio, in the Midwest, there's an organization that is a partner of Global Lynx in this ecosystem called the Tech Elevator, and they have software development boot camps that they basically put through this pipeline so that they get trained and certified not only in software development, but in other skills such as DevOps or CompTIA or cybersecurity and so forth. Okay, and then they join this pipeline, the Global Lynx pipeline, and they can register in the Global Lynx system, and then they can get the right training certification from the provider. Again, could be a university or Global Lynx. And we're working with some community college, for example, right now. We're establishing a partnership with the Tallahassee Community College in Florida to offer, for example, DevOps and other skills in Florida. And the idea is we're working with agencies, government. So, for example, in the state of Florida with Career Source, or in Ohio with the program called TED Cred from the state of Ohio. And we're looking forward to add more from other states and provide the individuals the employment support and help them find the internship or apprenticeship opportunities, and then put them in contact with employers. So the employers are also part of the ecosystem, and they post their open jobs that they are having a hard time finding in this ecosystem dashboard and system, so that they basically is helping the individuals find a job and employers to find the individuals that they need. Okay, so the Global Lynx ecosystem, basically the partners include, one, of course, is Global Lynx, as you can see in the center of this diagram. The individuals that you see, that the individuals come from all the different partners. And then there are the enterprise partners, which are the employers, certification partners, which are organizations that they do professional certifications in IT skills, such as Axelos and PeopleCert, EduCert, and so forth. There are also workforce competence partners. Again, these are like Cisco, Intel, organizations that provide training. And then there are workforce development partners. These are, again, like the National Guard, Goodwill, and organizations that are finding individuals unemployed, underemployed, or individuals that are looking to join the IT workforce, and they send individuals to the Global Lynx pipeline. And then there are the workforce investors partners, and these are basically government organizations, either local or federal or state organizations that provide funding, grants, or tuition or expenses for the individuals to get trained. Okay, and then the last one is the training education partners, other organizations like Global Lynx that offer training and certification that are part of the ecosystem, because this challenge of shortening the talent gap requires multiple organizations. So the Global Lynx IT workforce ecosystem is one of the many ecosystems in the country and in the world, by the way. But this presentation is to make people aware that this is the ecosystem from Global Lynx, and that we are expanding it as we speak. And this graph shows a summary of the skills, of the areas that the ecosystem is covering from the beginning of the pipeline until the end. And as you can see here, basically, I'm not going to go into detail, but there are different roles that each partner. Again, Global Lynx is one of them. The other ones are the types that I explained, like the employers. In the employers, for example, just to give you an idea, in the state of Ohio, some of the examples are the Ohio State University is one of the enterprise partners, University of Akron, Columbus City Schools, Momentive. I can name many of them. and the same in other states like Florida and so forth. So there are each of these type of stakeholders are different organizations that are participating because the idea of the Global Lynx ecosystem for IT workforce development is a community program. Although Global Lynx is a for-profit organization, many of the things that we are doing in Global Lynx is to provide this program, including some free training and help to individuals so that this gap between the unemployed, underemployed, and unemployed people and the lack of people that are not fulfilling the jobs in enterprises, that gap is shortening. Okay, so that's basically the session. I think we have a couple of questions, and let me see if I can find the questions here. Okay. Okay, one question that I have that we have is who can get free training from Global Lynx? Okay, there are basically there are two ways to get the free training. Okay, one is some of the programs that are Global Lynx has approximately 150 training certification programs. A number of them, I'm not sure the exact amount, but let's say it's 10, 20 programs or so, are free, okay? And they are either provided by Global Lynx or some of our partners like Cloud Skills from Cisco or Intel and so forth, okay? The other way to get free training is in the case of the state of Ohio, if you're an individual, you can contact Global Lynx, and there is a program called the IMAP for micro-credentials, and you can apply and obtain the money to the expenses to attend the class with Global Lynx or one of the partners. Okay, so that's another way. Also, enterprises, states, for example, in the state of Florida, Career Source has a program for enterprises to apply for funds for training for enterprises. In the state of Ohio, TEDCred, and I'm sure that there are other ones. We talked to an organization actually today in California, and their organization is going to provide funds. I mean, they have grants and they have money to train a woman who want to join the IT workforce. So each state has its own rules. The Global Lynx programs that we are right now offering free training program are either provided by partners or by Global Lynx or paid by the state. Okay, so that was one of the questions. The other question is, let me read it here. Will you help advise people on which certifications and courses will be best for them? So the question is, if Global Lynx help people, which certifications and courses it will be for them? And the answer is yes. The individuals can contact Global Lynx, and if you do, someone will help you and guide you to which is the best course for you based on the career path that you want to follow. Obviously, you want to have a career for software development. There are certain classes that you will need. If you want to be involved in cybersecurity, there are other classes. If you want to be more involved in the DevOps management, for example, there are other classes and so forth. So the answer is Global Lynx can help you understand which courses, and that will be based around what type of career path or micro-credential where you're looking for. Okay, let me see. There's another question here. Can employees advertise their jobs opening in our ecosystem? Yes. Global Lynx just is launching right now a system. It's an online system. It's a dashboard, but also is a place where individuals can log in, and enterprises as well. And individuals can post their profile, and then the employers will see what they're looking for, and as well as Global Lynx and our partners, so we can coach them. And then the employers who will see what training and certifications the individuals which are in the ecosystem got the training, and employers can contact them directly. So that's basically how it works. So I think that's all the questions that I have right now. But thank you very much. I encourage you all to visit globallynx.com and also the site for this pipeline where people can register, corporations or individuals to become part of the ecosystem. Is the Global Lynx Workforce Development Ecosystem, and the website name is the URL is wde.globallynx.com. Again, wde.globallynx.com. Thank you very much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you in a future session of IT Live. Thank you.